Hello, I'm Hanny from Latchkey Kids, and this is WVUD. The song is called Everywhere at Once.
Hide behind sacrifice. They'll say, tell me where's your love? My love's right here, but we're not in love right now. They'll say, tell me where's your love? My love's right here, but we're not in love right now. Couldn't be everywhere at once. I couldn't be everywhere at once. I can't be everywhere at once, but you can be. You can be. You could be the lonely voice on TV, screaming out free Gaza. You could be the cannonball in my dream. Wake up in your water. I could take you on tour, and when I'm bored, I'll talk myself to sleep. You could be when I say no to the things I like, 'cause the bigger picture's finally burning bright. Burning bright. I couldn't be everywhere at once. I couldn't be everywhere at once. You could be the hot, scorching water running down my pipes. You could be the falling shampoo bottles, make me wake up, I'm alive. You could be the eyes of a calico that led me out a hole inside the fence that I got trapped in ever since your golden sun arrived. You could be in Joey's life or Kyle when he's goofed on marijuana. When Geo calls and Jack calls, carving out our traumas. When I stop the car so me and Dad start working out our problems, and then I hold his face like you held mine. And they'll say, tell me where's your love? My love's right here, but we're not in love right now. They'll say, tell me where's your love? My love's right here, but we're not in love right now. 'Cause I couldn't be everywhere at once. I couldn't be everywhere at once. I can't be everywhere at once, but you can be.
Thank you. That's Everywhere at Once. I wrote a list one day of a lot of things I love, not all of them, but as much as I could cram into a 3.5-minute song, and then that's what that became. Just all the places you see somebody that was once in your life that no longer is, they become part of the sunlight on everything else that you see. So, yeah, Everywhere at Once. This song is called Year of Summers. It is the name of my band Latchkey Kids' new album. Alrighty.
was a colorful convent on Shire Drive, where pharaohs and sultans played ninja tribes. In their modern Medina, they'd all come together to break in their English with talks of the weather. There was a colorful corner on Frankfurt Ave, where Rami and Remus rolled the cul-de-sac, until the cold Holy Ghost of their crumbling Medina gave birth to an elephant the size of the distance between us. I want a colorful summer the way I've imagined, with a lot of Maria and all of her magic, under field lights and bleachers in a makeshift coat blanket. I'll wake up to cop lights, the sound of her laughing, but I can't have that colorful summer the way I've imagined. Your name's not Maria, and your story is less tragic. When you're taken by fall, you'll turn a new coat over her, and that cold Holy Ghost will teach you the coldest of shoulders. I want to sing about everything worth redeeming, worth redeeming. Still don't know if you're my only thing worth redeeming, worth redeeming. She took a train and now she's gone. She headed west with just a book bag on. Don't you want to see America? She wrote one last letter, then she faded to color in shades of ember with the potency of a year of summers.
Thank you. This is fun. Little living room situation here. Alrighty, play some more tunes. The song is called Cower.
It's too cold to play guitar, and I'm too old to hold your hand in the dark. I'm so scared, but I refuse to cower with you. So much in store, but you don't care. You're not breathing and I'm not scared, 'cause you refuse, 'cause you don't want to. And I could take my jolly old time to fix your head, but I gotta fix mine first. Been so ashamed of the family name, I almost forgot it was a holiday. guess he won. And Dad says, son, you can't change my awful feelings. But I refuse, and I'm still reeling. And I could take my jolly old time to feed 'em crows, but I gotta eat mine first. Been so ashamed of the family name, I almost forgot about the month of grace. Walking home, oh, setting sun in the trees, and I shouldn't be scared of my friend. You're the iron giant, I'm on the deep end. When my life should feel like flying, I shouldn't be scared of blood. I'm no iron giant, and I could take my jolly old time to fly you home, but there's blood on my wings. I'm so ashamed of the family name, I almost forgot about the love that made us. Almost forgot about it all.
Sweet, sweet. I'm gonna play a couple more. That's cool. Yeah, this is fun. I love Delaware. I think it gets a bad rep as a state, as does New Jersey. So we have that in common. Yeah, I'm gonna play more songs. It's fun playing these acoustically. My band's kind of like a punk band, but when I play them acoustically, it's like campfire songs, folk songs. So it's nice. This is my band's take on a protest song. It's called Apocalyptic Skies. Hey man, take a look around. The world is burning down. You're a fixture on the couch. Can you feign a sound? There's numbness in your eyes and a dullness in your spine. Something somewhere inside you died too long ago to tell. When I asked if you were well, you said I never really felt American, like ice cream apple pie, writing lyrics on her thighs, a song you've heard a million times, but you never recognize yourself in it. Did you finally find your place in the black parade? Did you pierce right through the crowd with rehearsed hellos for Gerard Way? Did you share how you arrived with an unironic pride, and how you closed your eyes, heavy traffic on the turnpike? Did you finally feel American, like ice cream apple pie, writing lyrics on her thighs, a song you've heard a million times, but you never recognize yourself in it? This American life. I stole the Chevy, I drove it right into the lake off of Lakeview Drive. What does it take to feel alive? Stealing cars, starting fights. You found new fears to hide behind. Then she cries. Did you make your mother cry and
broken English through the night on the side off of Lakeview Drive. Tonight I'm gonna feel alive, stealing cars and starting fights, stealing cars and starting fights. Then she cries, 'cause she's never really felt American, like ice cream apple pie, writing lyrics on her thighs, a song you've heard a million times, but you never recognize yourself in it. And today the TV brought Americans with their hands up in the sky, watching eager bullets fly, a story heard a million times, but we never recognize ourselves in it. And I want that field of light in the radio at night to hear Delilah speaking of making love under apocalyptic skies.
All right. You haven't heard it like that before? Yeah, I decided to really strip back some of the songs and just like do them in a different key. Sometimes you got to sit in a different vibration. All right, this one's gonna be a little bit more jumpy. I don't have a guitar strap to jump around, and obviously you guys can't jump around, but you can move around a little bit. All right, y'all, this is my last song. This is a song called Athena. It is about pretty much a glorious time in my life in the center of New Jersey. And yeah, it's fun. Some good memories.
Streetlights shaped like candy corn. Route 18, howling in my window in the dark. You can't save me, I'm mourning. You stayed to
Thank you.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to WVUD's Live Lounge. It is April 30th, 2026, and I'm here with Joey, Hanny, and Cyle of Latchkey Kids. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that. Now, Hanny performed, was it a 5 or 6 song set for us here?
That's 5, give or take 0.
5, give or take 0, yeah. And those were all done acoustically. So those were like, as you said, stripped back sort of campfire folk-esque songs, right?
Yeah. They're usually full band songs. I just did them acoustic for you lovely people.
I thought it was, honestly, a breathtaking set. But when you guys are all performing live, drums, instruments, bass, you sort of bring, I guess, a different flavor, a different sort of energy to those performances. You guys are... Would you guys describe yourselves as like a punk band?
I would say so, definitely.
I say Springsteen punk. Say folky but loud, and you need earplugs to listen to us for sure.
What I find so interesting, Cyle, about what you said as Springsteen folk was that as I was listening to Hanny perform the songs, I sort of found sort of like a Springsteen-esque quality of like these self-contained stories. Could you talk more about like sort of what it takes to not what it takes, but if it's like a collaborative effort to put the songs together?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I kind of am the lyrics guy and the stories guy. They give me stories in life, but then I try to translate them into, the art form a little bit, and then we arrange the song like full band together. And before we do that, usually I just hang out with Cyle and we do some things, and then I hang out with Joey and we do some things. And by some things, I don't mean illicit affairs.
Right,
I mean,
of course.
Of course, this is a college radio station. But what we do, Cyle and I together, is we like work out the intensity of a song. Like where is it supposed to exist in its final form, and then we work backwards, and then Joey and I sit down and we kind of look at harmonically what's happening in a song, and Joey kind of helps me cut things up, and they both kind of like edit me, and then it becomes a Latchkey Kids song,
I think it's like super impressive, sort of like I was also getting sort of hints of like is it Don McLean or Don McLean?
Yeah,
American
totally.
Pie, yeah.
I was kind of parodying American Pie. And
It
that
totally,
in one of our songs, yeah.
it totally sort of felt like those vibes to me. Like, and also it sort of felt like sort of the '90s pop rock you would get sort of out of like Matchbox 20, the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah. I unironically love all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I said to Hanny, he sounded like the Goo Goo Dolls tonight. So
Yeah.
Cool. That's not a bad thing.
Those songs are like, it's almost sort of like a comfort food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I think that like, New Jersey, I say this all the time. What's really special about it is you really need a car to get around. You're not in the city. You're wedged between two cities, Philly and New York. And because you need a car to get around, you spend a lot of like your young days dreaming about having a car. Then you're like a late teenager, early adult, and you have a car and you just listen to so much music. And I think, spending a lot of my early adulthood driving around and meeting my friends that were like an hour away brought me back to being like 8 years old and my dad taking me on trips, and what was on the radio was like 90s and 2000s pop rock,
Exactly.
So
when you're in the car with your dad, it's like you sort of see things that are out of the window that you don't even consider, and then you think about them, and it's like, oh, this could be like an interesting idea that I might want to put into a song or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
One day down the road. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, talk about sort of the intersection between Philly and New York City. Have you guys ever played at venues in Philly or NYC?
Yeah, we live in Philly right now, me and Cyle, and we do a lot of extensive touring. So we've hit New York City a bunch, and just a lot of stuff around there too.
Yeah, there's a really cool venue in New York right now. It's always, I feel like, really hard for people to break into New York, and I think a really accessible spot if you're into the culture of like the modern sort of indie and punk movement, and you're hip with all the good things about that, is a spot called Purgatory in Brooklyn. That's a really good spot to play and check out shows at.
This is more of like a personal ask, but have you guys ever been to a show at Brooklyn Steel, perchance?
I think I might have saw somebody there like 10 years ago, but that's like Houndmouth maybe played there or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, like a 2016 band that was like blowing up at that time. I mean, I'm sure they're still huge, but yeah, I think so. What's
Because the last time I was in NYC, I was at Brooklyn Steel because you guys know the actor Michael Shannon? No?
hit me with a character that he played.
General Zod, Man of Steel.
Oh,
Okay, no.
So he's in an REM cover band with like this guy named Jason Narducci. And the last time I was in NYC, I was at Brooklyn Steel, and they played like 32 REM cover songs. It was pretty neat.
I love REM. Do you like REM?
I love REM. Yeah. Michael Stipe came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, he actually came out.
Yeah, he came out. He was just hanging out like up at the balcony.
Did he sing?
He did. He sang 2 songs.
No way. What did he
off
sing?
of Life's Rich Pageant. He played These Days.
Okay.
And he played another one. It was like, I forget what it was called. But he came out and performed 2 songs that he hadn't performed in like 18 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know, it was so cool.
The way to do it. Oh, that's cool.
It was really so cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I haven't been there, but I definitely know. I mean, it's an institution.
Right.
Brooklyn Steel.
Yeah.
The Warsaw, I've seen some shows at, but yeah, we played a lot of the like Brooklyn punk circuit, kind of like Transpicos, Purgatory. Played some spots in Manhattan, Rockwood Hall. What's the
Pianos is there
Pianos?
too? Yeah.
Mercury Lounge. We played. Yeah, we've done.
Is there a different kind of energy between the Philly and NYC sort of punk circuits, or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of in the our own little box, I think. Then we found a family in our own little box. Like, we're not hard enough to be like in the hardcore scene, which I think in New York is more dominant. As far as I know, there's a really good hardcore scene in New York. But in terms of just like being a weirdo, a freakazoid, Philly's really nice to you.
Yeah.
If you're a weirdo freakazoid like us. So Philly is, I think, a better indie town. I'm just gonna say that.
That kind of surprises me because I would think with like obviously the explosion of say a band like Geese that really NYC would be the indie town, but
right. Well, it's like the commercial indie town.
The commercial indie town,
but the real indie town is Philly.
Real indie town is Philadelphia.
Yeah. The gritty town, quite literally.
Yeah.
Gritty. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Flyers mascot.
Yep. Yeah. No, Philly's like consistently, because New York takes many forms, and but yeah, I think it's more authentically like a little punk rock.
We could totally just be in the era of hardcore in New York right now, and like 10 years from now, I might go back to being like, I feel like Philly has a lot of like softer acts or more like song or lyric based music, like the Springsteen folk or punk thing.
Yeah.
And I think New York, the bands we've played with have always been like a little bit harder, and I think that's why we might, us personally, see New York as more in the hardcore scene, but it also is based off of like the bands we play with. Like all the bands we love in Philly are all like on the more the Springsteen route, you know? Like
definitely.
Local Honeymoon, Twin Princess, they all have these like, which is cool too. They have more of like a disco vibe too. Some of the bands, which is really cool. But and a lot of the bands like Crush Fund is in New York are just more like punk and like just in your face, like it's just. Oh, sorry. Beep. Cut that. They're just more in your face and like mosh pits, and like some of the best mosh pits we've seen are at Purgatory actually, which is crazy. But yeah.
I know from like personal experience, having done these live lounges, like we recently, or I'm not going to say recently, had a solo performer named Boy Wonder, who sort of comes from like the Springsteen, like Sting-esque school of, sort of softer melodies and so on. But sort of bringing it back to New Jersey and Delaware, from your experiences being in Delaware, right, there's sort of that reputation that we're small and we don't have a lot going on. What would you guys have to say to sort of like oppose that? Because I feel like we have a pretty strong sort of flourishing scene.
Yeah, tiny but mighty.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta. I would say, I think ordinary or forgotten places are a great fertile grounds for artists. You know, I think when you're in the city or you grow up around so much culture, it can actually be really debilitating to a young person because it's like really noisy.
Right.
I actually think like, you know, having like being from a smaller state or from, I know Delaware has some rural parts. I grew up in a kind of rural part of New Jersey, you know, and I think that did me wonders growing up because it allowed my imagination to sort of, you know, have space.
Yeah, I was saying this the other day that like in the community, we were talking about communities and cities versus areas like this or the DIY scene, the house show stuff.
Yeah.
I was saying that like in these parts, especially in Delaware, like the Temple, like what we were talking about before, that place was like one of the most special places because it was like, it's not forced. When you're in a city, like there's so many people that it's just normalized that there's house shows and that there's this community of people going out to bars and everything. And you come out to like, even though it's only 30 minutes from Philly, it's like, it's kind of like you have to work to have the community there, and I think that's what makes especially Newark. We have Newark in
right
Jersey,
Newark and Newark.
Yeah. So special is because everybody here really is like putting in the time and the effort to make things happen. Like you guys are here too. You know, it's not just a given. It's you're working for the thing that you want to see, which is a bunch of punks in the basement. You know.
Yeah.
So.
At times, you know, it can be a grind as you described, but I just wanted to know within your New Jersey scene if there were any of your contemporaries that you sort of found to be the biggest help or the biggest influences in helping you guys sort of expand out.
Yeah, in New Jersey, there's this band. When we were really starting out, I would say like somebody that I get a lot of advice from time to time is this guy Greg from a band called Flycatcher. And they're really awesome and really doing well and like tour a lot and tour nationally. And Greg always was like a year or two ahead of me in school and gave me a lot of good advice when I was really young. And so I was very lucky to have somebody like him and a couple other people that like, you know, are just that like year or two above that can really go a long way. More recently though, I would say like our two biggest like mentors and help are actually kind of more Philly people. Our producer Cyle Pulley, he's like a big mentor for us and helped us out a lot. And then this guy named Tom May from the Menzingers. Menzingers are like a really beloved Philly band, and both of those guys produced our album, but they also like gave us a lot of tips and tricks and are people that I can call upon for help. So we're very lucky in that sense. So.
I want to know, this is something I typically tend to ask a lot of the people that come here. What is like your guys' conception or like idea of like the perfect song?
That's great. That's great.
I love a good chorus. I think I need to. That's why like I've been like in a weird country phase recently, just because like.
What kind of country? Is it like modern country or sort of older country?
It's modern country trying to replicate old country, if
right.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Kind of more. It's funny because there is an indie element of like modern, like songwriters, which is really funny just because they, because usually it's like really separate or whatever, But yeah, I mean, that's what I like in a good song. Is just like a solid, like like Hanny was saying before, it's like campfire songs. I think I learned that from Mumford and Sons. They were talking about writing songs. They're like, if we can't play it around a campfire, it's not, or the Lumineers, or some type of, you know, hey, kick and snare. Yeah.
Some they call it stomp clap.
Yeah. Stomp clap.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
So that's my take with all that, and that's whenever Hanny has a song that I can connect to a little bit easier, or like more, whatever, it's easy to digest. I think that kind of hits my soul for music a little bit more than the more, I wouldn't say we're pop, but I would say we have more of like a easier listening sound,
right?
You know,
yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my take on it. Like
Perfect song is like has to be as close for me, as a picture that you keep in your scrapbook.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
So you can always turn back and look at it.
you can always turn back and look at it,
Yeah.
and it gives you more every time you do.
Mm.
Gives you some new perspective, or somebody in that picture changed, or somebody in that picture passed away, or somebody, you know, like.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like, to me, a good song is really good at just taking as honest a portrait of where you are. And some of my absolute favorite songs have more to do, I realize, not with the songwriting, not with some brilliance or whatever.
Mm.
They have everything to do with what I'm singing about and where I was in that time. Some of our early songs mean a lot to me because I missed that time, and I'm sort of like still processing, letting go of a lot of things from when our band started, which is like the pre-COVID world.
No.
Yeah.
That's such a different world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys were probably pretty young, but we were
Yeah.
all like in college during that time. So there definitely was a pre-COVID, post-COVID existence for us, for shows and stuff, you know.
Different energies.
Different energies, yeah.
Pre-COVID slamming beers and post-COVID working 60-hour work weeks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think like a perfect song. Yeah, I think, you know, something similar to you said, like there's a timelessness to it. You know, you can always find different meanings, but yeah, just I think like a lot of like perfect songs that I've been finding recently is just like you know, just stuff that you can always come back to. And I'm like losing my thoughts, sorry. I like pretty much like what you said. Yeah, there's like you can come back to it and find new meanings. Yeah, sorry. Just, like,
No, I mean, it might be a Latchkey Kids thing for us. That's like at least what I think of our near perfect songs are the ones that it's, you know, the stuff that we put in our set list are things that I want to remember, things I want to, you know, even if it's like a 5-year-old song, it feels right carrying on because it's that good of a portrait of that time that it, you know, you almost can accept the past and the present as one. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing. I'll share a quote that I think is really cool. A really smart kid told me and Kyle this the other day. We played a record store show in North Jersey, and this kid named Sam opened up, and he has a band called Just Sam. And Sam told us that visual art decorates life. It decorates the things we see. Music decorates time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that, I really believe in that. I love that, you know?
Because it sort of exists on one continuity. It's ever evolving,
Yeah.
but sort of the same ideas pop up.
Yeah. And like, where does the melancholy of like nostalgia come? That is in a lot of music is because it's us processing time.
Right.
Which is like a hard thing to process on a normal level. It's kind of like not something you do on your day to day. Whereas like visual art, you walk through your day to day and you can be like, wow, this is beautiful. You know, it's like the trees and the birds and the flowers, but music, it sits in a different kind of...
it sits in a different pocket.
A different pocket, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I would say my favorite song was like My Sweet Lord, George Harrison, which is like, oh my God, you guys are talking about like the metaphysics of music in the universe. And I'm like, this song's good.
There is that too.
Right.
The Beatles wrote a lot of perfect songs.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, true. I don't know. What is my perfect song? I can't even say, like, you know, obviously not an Us song, but like, there's a couple. But it's like, you know, it's funny. I've also learned not to put certain things on it. As a musician, there's so much hierarchy.
Right.
You know, the Beatles are the greatest band of all time, or whatever.
It can
or
be
like,
easy to put people on a
pedestal. Yeah, exactly. And so it's what's nice is kind of outgrowing some of the perfection in the things that I like and going, oh, what I used to think was perfection was just something I didn't understand yet.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm probably a harsher critic now, but like also not. I don't know. I don't look for transcendence in music alone anymore. But I used to when I was like a teenager.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess we all sort of do that to a capacity. But as we wrap up here, sorry for the weird pause. As we wrap up here, is there anything that you three would like to give as your final message, or anything that you would like to promote your upcoming albums, EPs in the future, as we sort of wrap up our interview here?
Yeah, we just put out an album a couple weeks ago. We are in April, in the year of our Lord 2026. So we put out an album April 15th. I don't know what today is. That's something like
The
30th. Okay, so about 2 weeks ago. It's called Year of Summers, and we're very proud of it. We spent many years working on it, and now we're touring. So today is the first day of our about 3-week tour, on and off.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going out to a bunch of places: Cleveland, Boston, DC, and check out our Instagram, and you can find out where the shows are.
And join our Patreon.
That's our Patreon plug. Yes, we have a Patreon. It's kind of a new project we're doing, and we think it could save music for bands. So join the Patreon. Got anything to plug?
I think you guys hit it.
Yeah. Well, Joey, Hanny, Kyle of Latchkey Kids, thank you guys for hearing here. Thank you guys for being here. I've been Ryan. That's been Latchkey Kids. That was our live lounge. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.